Last week we discussed the poem The Clown's Wife. I think today we have to discuss techniques of the clown's wife. Techniques. Right. Literary devices. Write down the topic. Techniques used in the poem. Techniques. Techniques. Techniques used in the poem. Okay. Now let's see literary devices used in this poem. Right. Now, the point of view. What is the point of view of the poem? Now, you may know it, and you must know it, because you have completed several poems now. Yes. There are 2 points of view. Third person point of view and the first person point of view. Now, what is the point of view used in this poem? Yes. Any answers? Nuvi, Hiranya. Nuvi says third person point of view. Hiranya says first person point of view. Any other answers? Who tells? Kavindu says first person point of view. Yes. Who tells us the story? If you know the speaker well, you know the point of view. Make a speaker andunagato. Point of view එක මොකක්ද කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Yes. Any other answers? There are 3 answers. I think some of you still have some problems in identifying point of view. What is point of view? Point of view means who tells us the story. Who tells us the story? If the writer or the poet tells us the story, it is the third person point of view. Now here Johnson Agard is the writer, but he does not tell us the story. Johnson Agard does not tell us the story. Agard uses someone else. Who is that? Who's the speaker here? Not Johnson Agard. There is a different speaker. Who is it? Who's the speaker in the poem? Yes. Who is the speaker in the poem? Who tells us the story? Who speaks to us? Yes. Yes, Hiranya. Clown's wife. Clown's wife. Now, wife tells us the story as I. You see? Therefore, the writer does not tell us the story, but someone in the poem tells us the story. Therefore, it is the first person point of view. That is first person point of view. Right? Then first technique is the first person point of view. The first person point of view. Write down. Johnson Agard does not tell us the story of the clown. And it is the clown's partner. It is the clown's partner or wife who tells us the story. Who tells us the story. Right. That is one literary device. First person point of view. Now look at this line. Look at this line. What do you think the technique is? There is a hidden technique. Up there he is a king on a throne. What do you think the technique is? Yes. Chamodya. Hiranya is doubtful. Chamodya is sure about the technique. What is the technique? Yes, what about others? Other people? Are you still sleeping? Chatumali, get me. Right? Yes, get me correct. What is the technique? A king on a throne. A king on a throne is a metaphor. M-E-T-A-P-H-O-R. Metaphor. Write down second technique. Metaphor. The clown is, write down, the clown is compared, C-O-M-P-A-R-E-D, compared to a king. To a king, implying the qualities of implying the qualities of power, authority, A-U-T-H-O-R-I-T-Y, authority, power, authority, and superiority. 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 And superiority. Right. Another technique. Look at this stanza. This simple stanza. It's a question raised by the clown's wife. It's a question about her husband. She is confused about her husband. She cannot think of her husband's character. But this question has no answers. But we know the answer. Yes. Hiranya, correct. This is also technique in writing, but not in poetry. But here it is used. What is that technique? Yes. What is that technique? Samodaya, correct. Right. That technique is called rhetoric question. RHETORIC. Even the last stanza is a rhetoric. From the clown. Write down rhetoric question. RHETORIC. Rhetoric question. The first and the last stanzas are two rhetoric questions expressing feelings and thoughts. Feelings and thoughts in the hearts of the clown's wife, and the clown. Right. Another technique used in the poem. Look at these two lines highlighted. He is a different person. He is a king on throne. He is a different person. He is a king on a throne. Now you can see in both lines, there is the same grammatical structure. Subject plus be verb. He is. And a complement, noun. A different person, a king on a throne. Right. This is also technique. What do you call it? Farewell to barn and stack entry, we found such technique. Yes. Can anybody know it? That technique. Yes, we call it anaphora. 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 Okay. Next technique, anaphora. Caught these two lines. Caught these two lines. On stage is a different person. Up there is a king on throne. And after that, underline, he is a different person. He is a king on a throne. Underline them. Write down. In the above lines, the same grammatical structure, is used. Is used to express two different ideas. Is used to express two different ideas. Right. That is anaphora. Next technique, symbolism. 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 Right? Symbolism. The first symbol is the clown. The clown. The first symbol is the clown. Write down. The clown is symbolic of the clown is symbolic of the dual, D-U-A-L. Dual means double. Dual aspect of life. Life is superficially life is superficially beautiful, but in reality, it is very difficult. Right? Second symbol, the clown's wife. Only T is capital. All other letters are simple. Only T is capital. The clown's wife. She is symbolic of love, sacrifice, S-A-C-R-I-F-I-C, sacrifice, sympathy, and empathy, E-M-P-A-T-H-Y, sympathy and empathy. Right? Next technique, use of colloquial language. Colloquial. Colloquial means spoken. Use of colloquial language. Write down. The speaker in the poem uses Everyday simple language. Everyday simple language. For example, for these lines, I do me latest card trick. 1. I do me latest card trick. Right? Another example, I do me best. And them funny clothes. Another example. Okay. Next technique. Sound devices. Sound devices. Write down first one, rhyming. R-H-Y-M-I-N-G, rhyming. Rhyming. Right. Write down rhyming is not regularly used. In the second and the last stanzas. In the second and the last stanzas. End rhyming is used. Please quote person, thrown, mourn. One example. Person, thrown, mourn. End sound. Person, end. Thrown, end. Mourn, end. In the last stanza, life, wife. Life, wife. In the fourth stanza also you find one example. Cartwheels, Nose. Sound. Heart wheels, nose. Right. Rhyming. Okay. Next sound device. Alliteration. 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 Example. Look at this line. But at home you should hear him mourn. What, what is the alliterated sound? What are the words alliteration is used? Yes. What is the alliterated sound? Consonantal sound. Can you tell me? No one knows. Yes. What are the alliterated sounds? Home, her sound. Here, her sound. Home, her. Here, her. Him, her. Her sound is repeated. Used again and again. This is alliteration. Quote the line and underline the sounds. But at home you should hear him mourn. Right. In this line, there is also the use of alliteration. There is also the use of alteration. Yes. Tell me. Kamodya. Okay. Yes. Nitat evan alteration. First paper eකට අහනවා මේවා. What is the alterated sound? were sound created by W. Would were without were, wife were. Right? This is the use of alliteration. The same consonantal sound is repeated. Right? There are some good examples for alliteration. Right. Next sound device, assonance. 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 What is assonance? Vowel rhyming. Right? Vowel rhyming. Now you know there are many vowel sounds in English. Now look at this line. But at home you should hear him moan. Now you should One example for assonance. Right? You should. Sound. Sound. Now in this different person, this E and person E. Right? Different person. Now in these words, bothering him inside, this E sound. Underline कर, quote कर ला. bothering E, him E, inside E, inside. They are examples for assonance. Right. That's all for the sound device. Okay. Next technique. Next technique. Irregular versification. Right? Irregular versification. IRREGULAR. What is irregular versification? Now this poem has 6 stanzas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 stanzas are not equal in the number of lines. They have different number of lines. Lines gana samana naha. Therefore, we call it irregular versification. Write down. The poem has 6 stanzas. But they have no equal number of lines. But they have no equal number of lines. But they have no equal number of lines. That is irregular versification. Next technique, tone and mood, T-O-N-E. Tone and mood. Write down. The tone and mood of the poem is. The tone and mood of the poem is. The tone and mood of the poem is disappointment, sorrow, suffering, S-U-F-F-E-R-I-N, suffering, and unhappiness. Negative tone and mood. Unhappiness. It is negative tone and mood. Right. Now I think we have discussed the main poetic devices used by Johnson Agard in this poem, right? Please remember them because they are testing at the examination.